Hi, this is Paul Mascetta with theinfluentialmind.com, and in this video I wanted to basically dispel a myth and tell you the truth about the art of persuasion. You know, a lot of people email me, or I see them in conferences, I see them at seminars, and they ask me, Paul, can anyone be persuaded? Because I see a lot of products and resources on the market that claim that once you study them, you'll be able to influence and persuade the likes of anyone. And the answer to that is no. Not anyone and everyone can be persuaded, period. Anybody that tells you that they have something that can persuade the likes of anyone is lying to you. Now, I have made claims that my programs can influence and persuade the likes of just about anyone, but not everyone. Now, there is a good part to this, and the good part is that once you realize that, your ability to persuade people actually increases. And it all has to do with what we call the persuasion disqualifiers. So the easiest way to persuade, influence, sell, or market to anyone is to first make sure that your message is in front of the right person, that you're getting your message in front of the right person. You know, think about this for a second. If you're in sales and you're a cold caller and you're calling leads, would you rather open up the yellow pages? I don't even know if they still have the yellow pages, but whatever. Would you rather open up the yellow pages and go alphabetically through the yellow pages trying to pitch your product or resource? Or would you rather have a list of people that are somewhat qualified, that either have bought something in the past, those are really qualified people, or people that at least have expressed interest in what you have to offer? Right? So obviously the most logical answer is number two, but yet in the game of persuasion, it seems like a lot of people do number one. They talk to the wrong person, right? When they're trying to influence and persuade them, they're talking to people that logistically will never be able to comply with what they're asking from them. So the easiest way to sift through everything and get to the people that have the potential to say yes to you are to use the persuasion disqualifiers, right? So this first one here applies to sales, and it will kind of go into the last one over here, but starting off, we're just going to go with money. Does the person have the money? If we're talking about a sales situation, does the person have the money or the ability to buy whatever it is that you are selling to them? If they don't have the ability to buy it, no matter what, they do not have the money to buy what you're selling them, they are the wrong customer for you, and you should not even be attempting to sell to them. The second thing is desire. Do they have a desire to have what you have to offer? Now, it may not necessarily be what you have to offer at that moment. You'll probably have to do a presentation or a pitch or warm them up to the benefits and features of what you have to offer. But do they have the desire to either A, solve a specific problem that your product, service, or offer solves, or are they looking for an advantage in life? Are they currently unhappy with some state of affairs and they're looking to gain an advantage of some sort that you can provide for them? If they don't have that, again, you're wasting your time. The third thing is, do they trust you? And this ties into your USP, your unique selling proposition. Your unique selling proposition is basically what your product, service, or offer does that no one else's product, offer, or service does. Could be your guarantee, it could be the quality of what you do, it could be the way that your product is delivered, something that is completely different that separates you from the rest of the competition is your unique selling proposition. Do they trust that unique selling proposition, and do they trust you? Do they believe that you are credible? And if the answer is no in the beginning, that's fine, because you can work up to that. But the real question here is the potential there for them to believe that you're a credible person, right? So in other words, people in this world have worldviews, which we're going to get into down here in the harmonic worldview of everything. But the bottom line is, you want to know that there's a potential there's a possibility that this person can begin to trust you or look at you as credible, right? So if you are a diehard Republican and that person's a diehard Democrat and you are trying to persuade them to do something that has to do with politics, you're going to have a tough time because their worldview is much different than yours. But if you're trying to persuade a fellow Republican about something, your odds and your ability to do that, if it pertains to politics, is going to be a lot easier because the possibility of them trusting you is at least there. You can at least work your way up to it. I give the example all the time of USDA prime beef. You know, if I had the best organic grass-fed beef that money can buy, and I wanted to sell it to you, but you were a vegetarian or a vegan, no matter what I tried, I would not be able to sell you that product. But if you weren't a vegan and you were a meat eater, okay, the possibility, even if you're not like a diehard meat eater, the possibility is still there, right? So I'm not totally stepping out of my arena and trying to persuade someone whose worldview is completely different than mine. And then the last one here is the ATSY, the ATSY, which basically stands for the ability to say yes. Does this person have the ability to say yes if you present them with a call to action or if you ask for the sale? Do they have the ability to say yes? A lot of times, again, people try to influence and persuade other people that are not shot callers and that are not decision makers. So you have to always make sure that you are speaking to or presenting to the decision maker, otherwise you're wasting your time. Now, all of these things are governed by this one right here, which is what I went into in the beginning. The harmonic worldview. Does what you have to offer, is what you have to offer in harmony with this person's worldview? You know, one of the ways that I attract traffic on the internet is through Facebook. I have a Facebook page called the Maverick Influence Group, and on that page I give away a free product or a free report which shows people how to influence and persuade other people. Now, lots of times when I run ads on Facebook, I get negative comments from people who have a different worldview. Now, of course, when I run my ads, I do target people that I believe are interested in things like influence and persuasion. However, every once in a while, someone will fall into that category that isn't really interested in influence and persuasion. They think that influence and persuasion is coercive and it's manipulative and it's evil, and it can be if it's used the wrong way, but in and of itself, it's really just neutral. How you use it really dictates whether it's good or bad. But the bottom line is, I'm not going to sit there and try to change the worldview of those people. Those people just simply are not my ideal prospects and will never be my customers. Just the way the vegan will never be the customer to the organic grass-fed beef producer. So it's very important that you realize and you ask yourself, does your product, service, or offer harmonize with this person's worldview? Now, the beauty of this is this. The minute you get a no to any one of these answers, you can just start weeding people out and realize that they're probably never going to be your ideal prospect or customer or client, as I just said. And then when you narrow down, when you start getting to the yeses, when you start getting to the people that do fall into this category, your ability or your chances of influencing and persuading them are going to go sky high. So before you attempt to persuade anyone, go through the Persuasion Disqualifiers, because it's going to save you a ton of time, money, energy, and resources trying to influence people. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get updates when I publish more videos like this. And thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.